The Vergas Show is brought to you by Spanky Stone Hearth, casual fine dining on beautiful Rose Lake. Vergas State Bank, your locally owned community full-service bank. Vergas Event Center for gatherings large or small, including weddings. Vergas Liquor Store, where all the profits profit Vergas.
Make the right call. Call Hanson's, the most trusted name in plumbing and heating.
Hi, welcome to the Vergas Show. I'm Sherry Hanson. Thank you for joining me today. I'm with Dan Mudrow today out in the woods. Dan, thank you for having me out at your place. I love your work.
Thank you.
I remember the first piece that I got, it was a bowl, maybe not quite like this, but it was a bowl, and every time I look at it, I just it just intrigues me of you being able to see a piece of wood and then be able to do that. So
right.
I guess what I'm looking at, Dan, how did you get started doing this?
I picked up my first wood turning lathe. I think it was back in 2008, 2009. Just kind of started messing around.
It's a hobby.
As a hobby. Started making bowls or like little trinket boxes, and then it just kind of spiraled from there.
Had you ever seen somebody else's work that intrigued you that way?
No, so just kind of started, learning by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a local wood turning club in the lakes area.
Okay.
So I don't even know how I got a hold of them, but I went to a meeting, and
mm-hmm.
the rest is history.
Right, yeah, rest is history is right. Now I know that you take, so you got a piece of wood like this. I mean, okay, you just find it in the woods or whatever, and that's, what's this called on
this
it?
This is a cherry Burl. We don't have much cherry around here, but if you advertise, loggers or people that cut firewood usually get in contact with me, and then I purchase them from them.
Okay, and so from this, what do you do? Give me the process.
So from this, I would cut this straight down the center. So then I'd have a bowl blank here and a bowl blank there. Depending on the size of it, I can get multiple bowls.
Is this an average size?
No, that's a pretty small one.
That's a small one, okay.
Yep. We've had them so big where we've had the payloader to pick them up, or a huge tractor.
No way.
So.
Okay, and so how does this happen in a tree?
They don't even know.
They don't, okay.
People say it's fungus, people say it's bud growth that hasn't developed, so it just kind of keeps pushing out.
Okay, but what it does is it creates an opportunity for you to create something pretty awesome, right?
If I knew how to do it, I'd be doing it to all the trees.
Yeah, you would be out there with all the trees making sure that it happened. Okay.
For sure.
And so you got your blanks, and then what's the process from there, Dan?
So there I would just go, like I say, cut it down the center of that burl.
Mm-hmm.
I would mount it onto the lathe in rough shape, like the outside of it. So I would shape the outside, reverse it, clean out the inside with hand chisels, and then I leave it extra thick, so then I would seal it up and then let it air dry. So let's just say a 10-inch bowl.
Which is a 10-inch, this one?
No, so I'm just going, so maybe this is roughly 10 inches or so.
Okay.
If it's 10 inches, I would leave it 1 inch wall thickness all throughout the bowl. What that'll do is it'll dry even, and then reduce the cracking on it as it dries.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, so like some of these bowls, so let's just say this will be 9 to 10 months drying process.
That has to dry for almost a year?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So on the lathe that I have, I can do 20-inch size bowls. So if I do a 20-inch bowl, that'll take approximately 2 years to dry. So when everybody's like, hey, can I get a bowl from you? It's just not that easy.
I need it next weekend, you
know? Right.
And so that's why you do have some product. But okay, so you've got the, when I look at this, and then this one right here, Dan.
This one.
Tell me about the different wood grains.
So both of these are black ash burls. So it'd just be one of those big knots. It's just totally different. I was not expecting this when I cut into this one.
It's gorgeous. I mean, and it's almost like Christmas time. You open it up and something different.
Right. This one's called an eyed burl. It has all these little pin eyes, kind of like a bird's eye, but it's black ash. And with expensive wood like this, you try to get as much out of the product as possible. So I have coring knives. As that bowl is spinning, I'll take this smallest bowl out first, and then the second, third, fourth, fifth, on however many I can get out of that piece of wood.
That one is just very unique. Okay,
Yes.
so you've got those, and then I noticed a different finish, a different way that
Yep.
this is. Tell me a little bit about this bowl.
So that's the same as something like this here one.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of that grain.
Yeah.
The same, right?
So actually, the bark would be, I would just mount it total opposite on the lathe,
Oh, okay, sure.
and then the bark will stay on it.
Yeah.
But you do have to cut it. For the bark to stay on the bowl, you have to cut it in the winter when the sap's not running. As soon as that sap starts running, it loosens up that bark and it'll come off.
Okay.
So
You've got other products that you do here too, Dan.
I do.
I mean, tell me, okay, look, this right here. I mean, I was really intrigued by this. Let's
Yep.
talk about a little bit about that.
So this is a piece of black walnut slab that I got. We had this tree mill note this last fall.
Do you do your own milling or do you purchase that?
Up to this point, I've had it done, but I just purchased a mill, so
Good
I
for
have to
you.
get it put together. So that'll kind of cut a little bit of my cost out.
Right.
So yeah, so I'll slab out the tree, try to get as many spoon blanks out of this as possible. And especially when, you know, we don't have much walnut around here. Maple we do and stuff, but even any blanks that I use, I try to get as many spoons out of that piece of wood as possible. You're trying to do the best thing and trying to environmentally,
Right.
you know.
Right, but then you're also trying to get it to the point where, you know, it is cost effective for you too.
Correct.
Now one thing you brought up to me earlier was like if there's something, you know, you notice here that you're not
Yep.
as close because there's a knot in it.
Yep, so there's a little knot there. There's cracks here, otherwise, you know, I could have got another one there. You have to work around the bark.
And then you got to look at the backside of it
Yep,
too.
it's just not one side of wood, so.
And then this is what is a result of all this, right?
Yep,
Okay, so tell me about these.
so these are black walnuts as well. That's a black walnut spoon and a spatula. Walnut has the sap wood that's a lighter colored wood, so this will all be sap. So I try to incorporate that into the piece anytime possible. It just gives it a nice pop, and people really like that look. So.
It is. It's beautiful. And then, so you've got the different size spoons. Are these? Can you use these actually cooking?
Yep.
You can. And so
Just hand wash and oil once in a while.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about what you got going here.
So that's a dyed maple, or dyed curly maple pepper mill and salt shaker. It's got this curl figure in it, so I will dye it all black and then sand the black back, and the black will stay in those curls.
That's beautiful.
And then I add the green, so it just kind of gives it a nice little pop.
And you've got a couple of different kinds that you do.
Yep.
And so then it shows the.
These are a black ash pepper mill and salt shaker set. There was voids in it, so I put a crushed white stone in there, and then
so you
put some
can fill
CA
that,
glue
yeah.
and fill it in. So.
And it just adds a different dimension to it. It's beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but spoons and stuff, they're kind of my
You do those all winter long.
all winter long, and then come summertime, I'll do shows all weekend or
Okay.
every
And
weekend.
so you go
of the
to
month.
shows, and then what do you find people are looking for at shows most?
I found, you know, the lower cost.
Sure. You know, if they're just coming out. Yeah.
If it's functional, it sells better. And you know, everybody can kind of afford that $15 to $20 range. So
and
I
then they
kind of
have
find
a piece of your work.
right. Then you'll get the bigger pieces. Of course, cost quite a bit more, just like the bowls, because they take so long to
They
make.
take so long to make and
So,
to dry.
yeah.
And so, how does somebody get a hold of you, Dan?
They can shoot me a message through Instagram or Facebook
And your
under
business is called Turning Nature.
Turning Nature.
Located right outside of Vergas here, and that's
Yep.
what I love. And then you come to Looney Days and you do your shows and
Yeah.
that too. My children have one of the little tops that you made.
Sure.
And those are just kind of fun. I mean, they still use it, but like I say, you know, the bowls and everything. What is your favorite thing to make?
Bowls for sure. The highly figured burls and stuff. I do like making the spoons and stuff, but they kind of get repetitive after a while. So
I mean, it's like, okay, how many spoons did you make this winter?
this winter so far, about 1,400.
Yeah,
So,
that would get a little repetitive.
Yeah. So it's, you know, it just kind of depends on how big they are, like what size, how long they make or take.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
Well, Dan, your work is beautiful. I really appreciate you letting us come out here and see some of the inner workings of this. And it's just fun having you in our community and something like this. It's fun when a passion can become what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And good luck putting that mill together.
Thank you.
Yeah. You can be sure and check out Dan on Turning Nature, like you said, Instagram, Facebook, and you're a Vergas Community Club member, so thank you for that too. And
and I will be gonna try to be at Looney Days this year, so.
Okay, that's awesome.
For the local people.
All right, thanks for joining us
You bet.
today. You have a good day in Vergas.